Nicki Minaj versus Joe Budden. And I'm not going to lie to you. I thought it was going to be more rock'em sock'em robots than it was. Me and the Notification Gang would like to invite everybody to come join us Monday through Thursday, 9:20 to 10 o'clock for morning coffee, where we discuss the events of the prior day and also just talk mess about stuff. See you then. BBN, Jack Frost. What's up, party people? Yeah. So apparently, y'all trying to tell you, some of this shit, it gotta be scripted. So apparently, Joe Budden goes on, and notice I said his name correctly, goes on Nicki Minaj's show. And a lot of shenanigans happen, right? But let's just get something real straight with Nicki Minaj's main beef. She has two main beefs. But main beef with Joe was. One was him saying she was on drugs. That's a big beef. When you're, attacking somebody's character in such a manner and talking about they on drugs and they're not on drugs, that's just really effed up. Let's just be clear on that. I've had people, a lot of individuals about me, and that shit, I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, so, and the second beef was motorsport, for everybody that don't know. Okay, so, and I might have been victim of this also, let's just be clear. So, before we go any further, let's just say that Nicki Minaj, when Nicki Minaj actually came to Joe Budden podcast, she let it be clear. Joe Budden did her podcast first, and then Nicki did Joe Budden podcast. So let's just be clear on one thing. On Joe Budden podcast, Nicki made it really clear. No music come out that she's on without her hearing a final cut, a final mix. So there is no, she didn't know somebody was on the track. She didn't know anybody was on the song. She didn't know what their verse was going to be. She didn't know what they were going to say. There is none of that. That's basically what she wanted to put to rest. Okay, so let's get to the main problem. It seemed like that Nicki Minaj had with Joe Budden, and I'll call it problem 1A and problem 1B because both these things are pretty bad. And the main problem was the motorsport issue, saying that, because right there you're talking about her ability to do business, that she would get on a song with Cardi B, drop that song, and not know what Cardi B's verse is. Nicki Minaj says something extremely poignant, on point, let's say. It's extremely, and kind of true. She says whenever she's on a song with another female, there's always a negative connotation, a negative review of it, or she's looked at negatively every time she's on a song with another female. So, not for nothing, just so it could be clear, I think she's right. I remember the first time I heard anything negative about Nicki Minaj at all, it was when she was to do a song with Lil' Kim. And there was a situation where they did the song, I believe, and they were supposed to shoot a video or whatever. And that's how the Nicki Minaj Lil' Kim beef, I believe, started, where Lil' Kim dropped a diss track or two or something like that, and whatever. Alright, so I think Nicki Minaj is right. I think that she gets unfair treatment every time she's on a song with another female. I think she's 100% right. She says that she knew what Cardi B's verse was on Motorsport before it dropped. So she knew what Cardi B was going to say. And then acting like she didn't know is basically saying that she didn't know how to do business, that she's not a boss. And Nicki Minaj does not put up with anyone calling her anything less than a boss. So she was going to have issue with that. So they argued about that. She said, you calling me a liar. That was a big thing. So, but not for nothing, I'm with Nicki Minaj on this, because at the end of the day, once you say, it's one thing for us to say, us, when I say us, I'm talking about the media in general, for us to say, yo, look, Nicki Minaj didn't know that Cardi B was going to be in the song, yada yada, this and this and that. And then once Nicki Minaj weighs in on it, especially if she knows us personally, like she doesn't know me personally, but she knows Joe personally, and she says, no, look, Joe, I knew what was going to be on the song. I knew the verse that was going to drop. I heard the verse. I cleared it. You get it? Once that happens, but we still say, or Joe still says, or the media just in general, after knowing that Nicki said this to an individual that she knows, saying anything contrary to that would then be calling her a liar, and that would be questioning her integrity. So I 100% am on board with Nicki for being upset about this, because I think this is something that she should be upset about. I just want to be clear about that. They spoke on that. They spoke on quite a few different things. You got to go check out both podcasts. Then, this is the thing. Then she kicked. I think this was a stunt. I'm sorry. I love both of you guys, but I think this was a stunt. I think then she kicked Joe. She cut Joe Budden's mic, and had him kicked out of the building or whatever the case might be. Okay, so she said, look, I had enough of this, and she hit Joe Budden with his bags. Right in the face. Joe Budden had to leave. So, I think this was all like Joe Budden played the game. Alright, so Joe Budden always see the bigger picture. He's a very, very small guy. So I wouldn't be how do you say, I could believe that this would be something that he would be in on. Just period. Just seeing that Joe Budden play the game. He's at a point in his career where he understands his value, but he also understands, it seems to me, I could be incorrect because I don't know him personally, but it seems to me like he understands his value, but he also understands the importance of being able to control the algorithm. I just said a lot right there, whether people understand it or know it or not. I just said a lot. So I can definitely see Joe Budden saying, or at some point we're gonna get in a heated argument. You're gonna come on my show the next day anyway. If I get kicked off of your show, that's gonna even give my show better ratings. Get it? And that's gonna make your show legendary. So it's a win-win. I'm not saying that this happened. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if that was actually the case. Shout out to both of them. So Nicki Minaj goes on Joe Budden today, right? He goes on the Joe Budden. She goes on the Joe Budden podcast, and that's when they talk about the 1B thing I'm about to discuss right now, where she's saying that Joe Budden called her a drug addict, and then when she says I'm not a drug addict, Joe Budden says, well, did you ever pop a pill before? Pardon me. Says, well, did you ever pop a pill before? Let me say a couple of things real quick. Somebody could have smoked a cigarette before and not be a cigarette smoker. Somebody can occasionally drink alcohol and not be an alcoholic. Somebody could have popped a pill before and not be a drug addict. So you're asking a totally different question to try to reinforce a position that question does not reinforce. Nicki then said, matter of fact, this happened. This is the question that got Joe Budden kicked off this is the that got Joe Budden hit with his bags. Because then Nicki clarified, yes, I've taken a pill before, cut his mic. No more of these shenanigans. So shout out to her for that. That was a boss move, and I think that she was 100% right for that, because you're just coming on my program and you're trying to make it seem like I'm some kind of drug addict. We're not doing that. So anyway, so when she went on the Joe Budden podcast, she explained, and basically, more importantly, shout out to Charlamagne. I heard Charlamagne talk about this, and Charlamagne made a great point. And Charlamagne said, shout out to Charlamagne, shout out to Angela Yee, shout out to DJ Envy, shout out to the whole Breakfast Club gang. Charlamagne made a great point, and what Charlamagne said was this. He said, yo, look, just because Charlamagne had smoked cocaine at one point or another, that doesn't mean that, cocaine is a drug that he uses. And if speaking about myself, I'll say when I was a teenager, I smoked a lot of weed as a teenager. But that doesn't mean that, I'm a weed head now. You get it? So, I think that's what really set Nicki off. It was already building up. It was a dope podcast. Go listen to it. Go listen to both the podcasts. Shout out to them for putting on a good show the last couple of days. And that's all I got on this. I want to know what you guys think about this. I'm not going to go into the every time somebody argues with Nicki, she says something about men wanting to argue with women. Personally, I think it might, if you got any female that's constantly arguing with men, the problem might be her. If you got a man that's constantly arguing with women, the problem might be with him. But if you got a dude, he rarely ever argues with women, but he ends up arguing with you, you can't then say, oh, you just arguing with me because I'm a woman. Nah, it might be you. This might be an all you thing. Anyway, leave it down in the comments. I want to know what you guys think. And also, I just want this to be understood. I don't think that men should be just randomly arguing with women to be arguing with women. But I 100% think that just because we have a difference of an opinion, that a man has a right to express his difference of opinion just as much as a woman has a right to express hers. And because a man decides to express his, it does not mean that he's attacking a woman. If she takes it that way, that says more about her character and who she is than it says about him. And that goes for anybody. Man on another, that just wasn't going to come out right. I'm not going to finish that sentence, but you get what I'm saying. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I got on this one. I'm out. If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. If you would like to help dictate the direction that this channel takes, please leave a comment. All comments are appreciated, whether positive or negative. Thank you very much and enjoy your day. And remember, positive thoughts cause for positive things to happen. Let's get it.